Okay, everyone. So I can see that some of you are eager to join the Second Life space as creators. So you want to be able to create items for Second Life. That is fine and good. We're going to be exploring that process. Very soon we'll be looking at that process and all it entails. But as you can see, this first part of this would be series. We're in a store, and the point of my being in this store is to really give context to how the Second Life system tends to work. You don't necessarily need to operate in this way, but just to give you the idea of certain expectations, salient expectations that you may or may not need to meet should you want to venture into this like you would a full-time affair or committed part-time affair. So to begin this whole discussion, right, we're in a store. This is just an example store. I'll be showing you how to buy things and how to also set up things the way stores can look, just so you have an idea. So this is meant to inspire your planning. Okay, let me look at this, right? Let me zoom in on my avatar's perspective. Hold on. All right, so this is what I've zoomed into the max, so you can see everything here, right? All these items, you can see this white one, the gray one, the black one, the red, the green, brown, orange, pink, and blue. These are all products that have been lined up. For each and every one, there is I won't call it complex, but in comparison to like a platform like IMVU, it's a bit of a complex setup, right? So there's a bit of a complex setup behind each item here. Then you also have typically you have what's called a fat pack, which gives you all the colors, but you're not going to get, like in this case, 9 different products. No, you're going to get one product with a color wheel kind of thing. Think, for example, The Sims 3, where you could change your colors, or more accurately, The Sims 4, actually, because you're not going to get a gradient wheel. Sometimes you do, but you are going to get most likely just swatches that you can tap on and click on to change the color of, in this case, pants. All right, so let this inspire your planning on what you want to do with your time as a creator on this platform. So let's go look at this other product here. All right, so this appears to be like the top part of the product. So you can see it's like a composite product. You have the jacket. I don't know if the jacket's part of it. Okay, so the jacket is also part of it. So you have the jacket, the top, and the pants to my left. All right, so here is how you buy things. You can see when I hover my mouse over this, right? I am going to click on it, and then it gives me the price. I click the price, and then it's bought. But mind you, so I accept this, and then it's going to go into my inventory, and then I can add it and so on. By the way, this whole discussion assumes you've made the account. If you haven't already, you are clothed. All right, you aren't just running around without anything on, and you are also able to navigate, also able to look at your profile, set up your profile properly, set up your name. You are able to understand what teleporting is. You understand the basics of gifting, commerce, and all of that. So I'm going to accept this one, and then I can add it. So, and that you also understand the difference between wearing and adding and attaching. So what I just did was a mistake. All right. Now, because I have bought something, I just bought this, but I do not yet know if it will fit on my avatar. All right. So I am going to look for a way to first try this item before buying it, like you would on a platform like IMVU, for example. So how do I try this item? If you see, I right click it. So let's say I right click it to see if I can find a try option. I just have attach HUD, return, mute, scripts, all of that. So nothing particular to that trying option, only the pay option, which is for you to buy it. Then sitting here doesn't do anything, touch doesn't do anything. Although touch does something in some instances, you can't create with this. So let's look. You can't create with this. Everything is locked. You can't take, there's nothing to take. You can only buy this. So what then? How do I try this? That's simple. Most responsible stores, not all, most, will have an option for you to demo. All right. Then this is what's called the fat pack. The fat pack is what's going to give you all the colors. I think in this case for the entire 3 items, that's what it's going to give you. So this is the demo. All right. That's how we can try things. Usually demos are free, but some demos like $1 dollar, some up to $10 dollars. If it's at no cost to you, just go ahead. So you click the demo. So this one is a $1 demo. All right. So you click get it for $1. Then you accept. Then I assume you already know the basics of using your inventory, wearing and adding. All right. So make sure you first add items, then remove clashing items. All right. And yeah, you can go ahead with whatever item has been delivered to your inventory. I won't get into that. This whole discussion assumes you are already familiar with adding items and also detaching them. But for argument's sake, and let's just be sure that we're all clear, I'm going to go into my inventory. Then the objects usually are in recent, the recent tab. And then I am going to add. Now, a lot of items as well, they have what's called like a pop-up HUD for you to just click on the surface, and then you're going to be able to see this accept option. So you accept, and then that gives you the folder with the actual items that you want to demo. But before you demo those, make sure you detach this from yourself so that the HUD disappears. All right. So this also even comes with a HUD. So look at the body you have. My assumption is you have an idea what a mesh body is, and if you've gotten one already. So look at the body you have. Look if the sizes are available. Most of the time on the ads, they include the sizes that are available. So you can see this one has, is that Matria? Hold on, let me zoom. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So you can see this one has Matria, Lara X, Legacy, Cupra, Reborn, and Erica. All right. So I am going to wear the one for, there's no Legacy here. For real? Hold on, let me try this one. Accept. Okay, so this one has a Legacy item. Remember to always detach your HUD so you're not confused and nothing is blocking your screen. Yeah, so this one has a Legacy item, so I'm going to add it. All right, so you can see because it's leggings and I'm already wearing pants, I'll need to go to my worn folder. Then I'm going to detach the pants I'm wearing. All right. Okay, so this was the one we bought. So we were lucky that it fit, but the thing is, you should always demo. So I didn't demo mine because I didn't see, at least you can see the folder. Let's look through it again. Yeah, there isn't a size for Legacy in the demo folder, but that's fine. Let's just wear one for wearing sake. Let me, unless maybe this is it. Is this a HUD? No, that's an actual HUD actually. Eesh. Yeah, there isn't a legacy one. But most likely, whatever you're demoing will have the size. Let's wear the one for Matria. So I guess maybe Matria and then Lara X. So I think this is for the legacy. Maybe it was just misnamed. All right, so yeah, this is it. The demo just gives you an idea of what you are wearing. So you can see even the demos come with HUDs. I can add the HUD. Not every product, by the way, is structured like this, just so you know. And you also, having all of these HUDs and everything, it's a complex process. That one I won't even lie to you. So I can change the color with the HUD and everything. Okay, so okay. Okay. Maybe the demo version doesn't change color, that's fine. But you can see this one clearly states demo. But once I take it off, I detach it from myself, the regular pants are there, visible to see. So I just wanted to make this clear, make the whole idea of what shops can look like and tend to look like, and to some extent are expected to look like on this platform. So we are not creating and just making things and keep storing them in our inventories and wondering why things aren't quote unquote going well. Now, last thing I'll say before we get into the actual creating, so you can understand that stores can look like this. So if this is the kind of setup you want, you're going to need to rent land in some form, okay? Be it you rent it from someone who's already renting, or you rent it from a real estate agent of some form. Then you're going to use like 3D meshes. Everything here, as you can imagine, is a 3D mesh. Maybe it's created by the creator, or you can employ people. There are builders all over the place looking for gigs. You can employ them to develop storefronts for you, and then you're the one that eventually you're going to upload your images and then place them here and all of that. Store setups are a process of their own, to be honest with you. That said, the last thing I wanted to mention before we call it a day, just having a look at what a store is and how it can look like. You see this lighting, right? So you can say maybe, oh, this place is a bit dark. Let's come into the sunlight. So you can say maybe the place is a bit dark. You don't really like the atmosphere of the place. You can come to lighting and then you can tamper with these settings, or you can come, not this one, quick preferences. So you can see where it says shared environment. You can change that to some of the established lighting settings. So this one works kind of almost like a shadowless kind of thing. If you just want to see the product very clearly, I recommend using this one. Then there are other presets you can use, 3 p.m. Just keep changing them until you find the kind of lighting you want. This also helps when you want to take pictures and then you need a different mood for the lighting. But if you want to come back to the lighting setup attached to the landmark, to the store, just come to World, Environment, use shared environment, and then this is like the default lighting version for this location. All right, so yeah, You're going to find a lot of links all over social media and also on like collector sites, sites that do promotional work like Primfeed, I think, and then was Seraphim. You're going to find even on social media platforms like Facebook. Facebook is still active specifically for Second Life and not so much platforms like IMVU. Then you're also going to see them on Flickr, right? For those of you who are from what I would call the photo bucket era, you should be familiar with Flickr. You're going to see links to different stores that you can check out. This particular one will be linked in the description box. Then you can walk around the stores depending on how they're set up. A lot of stores are actually much smaller than this. So before you begin creating, go around and explore stores, explore the kind of things you want for your own store. Do you even want your store set up like this, or you just want to upload straight to the marketplace? I'm sure if you've already done your basics, you are aware of the marketplace, but if you aren't, we can look at that later on. And then the mic got a bit too loud, so this is in post. This video is just talking about what stores look like and what you should expect to encounter when you are setting up your stores. Be reminded that it's not mandatory to have a fully established storefront. Be mindful that you will need to rent land on like a monthly basis to host your stores, down to the exterior of your store, the interior of your store, how the products are arranged, everything that is going to be handled by you, right? Every single object, you're either going to buy it or model it yourself in a software like Blender, and then upload it to Second Life. But just like I said, selling out of the marketplace is an option. There isn't any pressure. Everybody buys what they want to buy. So it's just that storefronts are cool ways of really putting your products out there. And especially when I think they're in locations that people can access. So if they're in like a strip mall or something like that, or you have a boutique somewhere that's really high access. Okay, so there's no pressure. Just you have an idea. You also get a taste of the Second Life ecosystem. If you're entirely new to this, wish you a warm welcome to the platform, and I can't wait to see you in the next part of this series. Thank you once again.